right, good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me and see my screen? Jonathan, yeah? All right, great. Thank you. All right, so welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to be talking about how every semester needs a plan. So we're going to talk about how to set yourself up for success this fall as we jump in to a new academic year. And this webinar was, well, let me tell you who I am first. So I am Shelby Lamar. I'm the Associate Director for the Center for Academic and Faculty Excellence. And then here as well, we also have Jonathan Aragon, who is my co-host and who is a fellow at the Center for Academic and Faculty Excellence. And he just gave a webinar this afternoon on Zotero. So if you missed it, we will put the recording up for you to take a look at that as well, which is a great resource for everyone. All right, about today's webinar. So this webinar was actually developed from the National Center for Faculty Development and Diversity curriculum that they have. And so I'm going to be changing this a little bit to make it focus more on graduate student life. But as we are basically grad students are basically trying to become faculty or have academic lives or professionals, I think this fits really well with how we can think about our semesters as professional projects and or research. All right, so let's jump into it. First off, we are going to talk about challenges of the semester slam, then keys to a successful semester. We'll talk about 5 steps to create your strategic plan, and then think about how to move forward with the rest of the semester. So feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions. Feel free to put questions in the chat or just add your own thoughts. And here we go. So first, the challenges of the semester slam. The semester slam is this kind of check with reality, I guess, that kind of happens every time we start a new semester. Everyone is very excited, very pumped, and has a lot of grand ideas of what they're going to be able to accomplish in a semester or a summer. If you had plans for the summer and weren't able to accomplish them all, then you kind of get slammed about a couple weeks into the semester, realizing how much you might actually be able to accomplish, and like kind of getting that reality check, right? So, what are some of the challenges that kind of cause this semester slam? First is there's a lot of unstructured time in a semester for students who are in the dissertation phase, and there's even a lot of unstructured time for those that are in coursework. If you're taking 3 courses, you have about 9 hours of really structured time where you have to be somewhere. I mean, of course, that doesn't count if you have an external job or something like that, but it's this time that you need to structure yourself instead of time that's really set at a pace that someone else is setting for you. There's a lot of also varied and time consuming commitments, these being professional commitments, personal commitments, external commitments. So there's a lot of random things that we need to do or we need to plan for or that come up in the middle of a semester. And that can throw off our plans for the semester as well. And then when we're deep into the semester, we have this tendency to prioritize tasks that seem very urgent, but they're not really important for our overall goals for the semester. And what can happen is as we lose our priority and our focus on our goals, our most important aspects, we try to do everything, which can hurt our health and well-being and relationships. And it becomes overwhelming and can lead to burnout, right? So trying to prevent the semester slam is, trying to get clarity on how much time research, writing, coursework actually takes. So you can make a doable plan that's going to give you a reasonable amount of work that can still allow you to be agile and work around problems as they arise and still have that time structure that's going to help you stay on track. There's also this idea of it feels like everyone is working all of the time in graduate school. Our professors are busy, we're busy, everyone is working full tilt all the time. But that is really unrealistic. Someone might be able to do that, but they won't be able to do that for a long time before facing burnout or, having problems with their health or relationships. And so part of making a great semester plan that you can stick to is being able to make time for your health, well-being, relationships, and still being able to meet those long-term goals in a reasonable way. So, how do you do this, right? One of the things you need to remember is that you are a human being, and your job, your research, and your profession in general is something you need to accomplish, but they aren't you. So you need to first and foremost take care of yourself. And then what you need to accomplish are things that you're working towards, but they're not you. So have that little bit of distance between wrapping up your self-worth completely and what you're able to accomplish in a set amount of time. And remember that you need to build in time to for your own health and wellness and relationships, because if those go by the wayside, you're not going to have as enjoyable of a life or career, and we want to make time for those things. Next is that you need to make a plan that actually accounts for those things, a plan that allows you to have downtime. Because, honestly, we all want to, or most of us want to be great researchers and come up with these original ideas and really shake up our academic community. But if you don't have downtime, it's not allowing your brain to take a break and have those big breakthrough ideas. So it seems kind of backwards, but you have to give your time plenty of rest, nutrition, and time off, sleep, to be able to have those great ideas and to stay firing on all cylinders so that you can meet those goals. And so don't forget about that when we are making our semester plans. Finally, is building connections with support and accountability will help you stay motivated, even when you run into a roadblock like writer's block, or you run into kind of feeling down about something. Really having someone that you can talk to and someone who can keep you accountable is very helpful. And so part of being a researcher, an academic, and a professional is having a network that's there to support you and supporting others. And this helps not only with, building community, but also support, accountability, and sharing ideas with each other. So what do we do with all of this information, how do we make this semester plan now? So what we want to do is identify our goals, 1. 2 is map the steps. And then 3, our project actually meeting the calendar. So if this is what you want to do for the semester, then you're going to plan out how you're going to do it. And then you're going to plan out when you're going to do it. So goals, steps, and then calendar. And how we're going to do this is I want you to take, what time is it? About 3:10, 5 minutes. And I want you to think about the goals that you have for the semester. And I want you to think about all kinds of goals, any research, writing goals, personal goals you have. It could be everything from, writing a chapter on your dissertation. It might be something like, I want to run a 5K by the end of the semester. It might be that I want to get an A in all my courses this semester. So whatever goals you have for the semester, go ahead and take 5 minutes. I'm going to, turn off my audio. I'll set a little timer, and we'll give you 5 minutes to just write down as many goals as you have for this semester. We're not going to make anyone share them out or anything. This is just for you. So take a little piece of paper or open up Microsoft Word and, just write down what you're thinking. This is just a brain dump. in the chat if you want to follow along. If you want to share your goals, I'm happy to give a little bit of feedback and how they can become even smarter. If not, don't worry, just keep working on your own. But I'm happy to give a little bit of feedback so you can see the difference between like uh, making goals even, more measurable, more achievable, and time bound. All right. You've all had a few minutes to make your goals a little bit more aligned with the SMART framework. Now let's go ahead and take a look about how we can turn these goals into mapping these steps. So as you can see here, we have identified the goals. Now we're going to go into mapping steps. So this is the how portion. Okay. So this diagram with a lot of notes on it is an example of how you map out the steps. So we have our goal, which is here in the center. I don't know if, can you see my pointer, my mouse pointer? Do you see it? Okay, there we go. Okay. So this is the your goal right here. This is an example of like, submitting a manuscript to a journal. But this could be whatever goal you're applying to. So ways to think about this is to start here and then break your goal into smaller and smaller and smaller steps. So for instance, if we're uh let's see, going to talk about maybe one that someone put in, the pass the FBI fitness test within 3 years, right? So what would you need to do that? You might need to set up a plan for how to make the um, uh, the fitness test. And so to do that, you might need to reach out to a colleague for advice. You might need to turn to a professional, or if they already have plans, maybe you need to go out and, buy a book or watch a video about how to set up those plans. And then you step back even further and look at the dates you need to do things, or not really the dates, but like if there's anything I need to do first, right? So do I need to find this plan before I can keep going with my next possible step of the process? So here for this manuscript, we have, they need a lit review, a method section, they need to draft the discussion, and they need to select a journal. Well, what goes into just one of these pieces, selecting a journal? So they need to ask their colleagues for advice. They need to research possible journal outlets, and they need to generate a list of specific journals that are relevant to the topic, right? So it's all these steps, and it might look overwhelming to break everything down into steps, but really what you're doing is stopping your brain from getting completely overloaded or from missing important steps that are going to take extra time. So this gives you the ability to really think about how many things you actually need to do to complete your goal and how much time you have in a semester, or how many steps are actually needed for something. And these steps don't have to be huge steps. This one is, email someone. But it gives you a little bit more of an idea of what you're going to need to do. So before I go forward, any questions with this kind of mapping out of steps? Lori, I think you're trying to ask a question, but you're muted right now.
Um, those were helpful ways to categorize your goals. Thanks for doing that.
Mhm. All right. So, again, I'm going to give you a few minutes just to write out your own maps. Um, so, pick one of the goals that you wrote down that you changed into a SMART goal. And now I want you to think about all the steps you need to do to complete that goal. And they don't have to be in any, huge specific order. Just think about all the little steps you need. So if it's getting an A in that class, what do you need to do? You have 5 assignments that need to be done. You need to do, pick your topic. You need to uh, email your professor if your topic is okay, or those kind of steps that might need to be done. And I know you all might not have syllabi for classes right now, but this is a good practice. So when you do get those syllabi or go into classes, you can go ahead and do this. Or if you're in the dissertation or thesis stage, you can kind of see where you're at in the process and what steps you need to complete it. And then what we'll do next is then make sure all of our goals and our steps meet our calendar. So take a few minutes and just do one of the goals that you wrote out and made smarter goals, and see how many steps you can think of that would be important to reach your goal. So there's also something like a writing coach that can help just you, or like a writing buddy. What you can do is actually make appointments with the writing center each week and meet with someone one-on-one. If you've got papers coming up or you're working on your dissertation, you can have them be your accountability writing coach buddy, and go in and meet with them every week, tell them what you've written, show it to them, kind of see where you are in that process. Um, this program also has faculty success boot camp that you can pay for. I don't think we have enough services at CGU where you don't need to do that. But if you want to, they do have support for grad students as well as faculty. Um, Next is work the plan. So what do I mean by that? What I want to suggest is that it's great to make plans, it's great to make goals and all of the steps, but you have to actually follow through to make it a success. So make your plan and then stick to it, right? So this can be, having an accountability partner can be that you share your calendar with them. And this doesn't even have to be someone in academia. Maybe it's, your mom. You're going to email your mom your calendar, or your best friend, or someone who's a little bit outside your family, and say, here's my calendar. Can we meet every week to talk about it over a cup of coffee and help me stay on track? Um, or, it could be something like, I know that there's online coaches. Again, that costs money. And I think we have plenty of resources here at CGU that you don't need to do that. But creating some kind of accountability or mentor or partner can really keep you motivated and moving. So next, think about how you want to actually put the plan into place, right? So if you need something to make your plan work, do you need someone to look at your plan? The Writing Center can help you with your plan. You can also make an appointment with us at CAFE, the Center for Academic and Faculty Excellence. We're happy to help you make your plan as well. We have appointments, and we can give you kind of feedback on it and keep you on track as well. So those are some things to think about as you put your plan into practice. And sometimes you might get halfway through the semester and say, I need to rework this. Maybe writing is taking you longer than you thought, or maybe you decide that one project isn't worth pursuing, so you need to recalculate how you're going to spend your time. And that's okay. Plans change. So finally, too much. Okay. I wanted to put our website out there as well as have a quick poll if you wouldn't mind giving me a little bit of feedback on the webinar. But what we can do is help you, as a leader, professional, and educator. We have certificates for you. We can help you train a new career and build your portfolio as an educator and professional. And we are more than happy to do that. So finally, I just want to open it up to, like questions or comments. Was there anything that you had questions on or anything you think that would help others? Oh, let me check the messages as well. Oh, the Outlook. Yeah, so you can download Outlook on your desktop computer or your phone. And if you go to CGU's OIT page, they have a place where you can download it on all of your devices. And so they can help you get that set up, and you can sync your CGU email and other emails with it as well. So it can become like a one-stop shop for you for that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop my screen share and let's see. Okay, any questions, comments, concerns?